Pharmaceuticals are a scam, bro. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Lauren. If you've never seen my face before, I'm your resident intuitive baddie. And all right, so 6 months ago, this is one of the first videos that I have up on this channel. 6 months ago, I made a video where I was talking about my lupus and how I would be switching, or me and my doctor had a plan to stop my medication. So, just in case, I'm sure that most people haven't seen that video. Just in case you haven't seen that video, ba- basic run view is that when I was 21, which was 2016, about 10 years ago, I was I had I was diagnosed with lupus. It was triggered, I think, through stress. And basically basically my I didn't know that I had very limited knowledge about the history that it had in my family. I had known that my dad's sister had it, but when I was diagnosed, I found out that my dad actually had it, and he was diagnosed with it a little later in life, or he had it, yeah, he something like that. So it skipped all his other kids and hit only me, which brought up a different theory about us transferring whatever is currently within us and not just passing down certain things in the bloodline. I think it's whatever is going on in your body is what you're transferring to your kid. Anyway, so for the last 9 years or so, I have been taking this medication called hydroxychloroquine sulfate to manage it. I was told that because this is an autoimmune disease, that there was no cure, and that I would be on this medication for the rest of my life. And I had accepted that fact, right? So last year I was really inconsistent in taking it. And when I had told my doctor was like, "Do you just want to stop and see what happens?" So I was like, "Cool, yeah." So the past 6 months I have been off it, and there has been no change. Like, yeah, nothing has happened. It's been the same since I've gotten it under control in that year, in 2022, I guess. Oh wait, no, sorry, when I was 22. I'm mixing up the years of my age. um and yeah, it was the same. So even from the last time, she kind of had reduced the amount of times I'd be seeing her. So for context, this past 9 years, I would see my rheumatologist about 3 or 4 times a year, and then I'd have to see an eye doctor as well. So that's about like 4 or 5 appointments within a year, right? So from last year, we reduced it to just two every 6 months. I think, or maybe the year before, something like that. So now I just went for my follow up appointment since we stopped the medication, and she said that the blood work, she didn't get all the blood work back, but for the most part, it looks the same as um as previous ones. And then she was like, "All right, I'll see you in a year." And I was like, "A year?" She was like, "Yeah." So basically, why I'm even making this video is I'm just recognizing how crazy it is that when I was on the medication, I had to be constantly monitored. But now that I'm off the medication, yeah, I only have to see her once a year now, and I don't have to do this eye exam that I had been doing every year since, because the that appointment was also for side effects of the medication, which all to say, I haven't been I haven't been going to these appointments to be monitored for the actual disease that I have. I've been monitored for the side effects of the medication I was taking that was meant to reduce the symptoms. What? What the fuck? Like, And I'm thinking about it too because I'm like, yeah, I was paying for this medication as well, even though I had insurance that was lowering it. Like yeah, I was still paying about, it was maybe like $7 each time I had to refill. So it's like in retrospect not that much, but over 9 years, like that's a couple $100 at least. And yeah, I'm just so in shock that this has been the reason why it keeps me at the doctor's. And it just reinforces this theory that I had already been playing with, that we don't really need to go to the doctors as much as we think we do. And I think a lot of what keeps people sick is, one, most medications, but then two, the mindset around it. Because if I had taken that belief, the original belief that I will never be able to live without that medication, that I'm going to have flare ups, whatever, what have you, I would probably still feel symptoms. But I I do I do credit my holistic lifestyle to also being the reason why I don't feel that I need this, and just mindset in general, where I'm just like, there's nothing wrong with me right now. And I remember during my pregnancy too, like my during my pregnancy I was monitored a lot more than a normal person would. I was told that I had to have extra appointments. And then, if you remember, if you because I had put out a video about this as well, where my doctor was trying to push for, first she was trying to push for a C-section, and then when she recognized that I wasn't going for it, she started to push for induction. And her excuse was my my condition. She said, "Oh, you have lupus. The baby's smaller, so for safety purposes, we should induce." And it just didn't make any sense to me. And yeah, I don't know. This just proves my point, where it's just like, I really truly believe. Obviously, I don't think that all medicine is bad. Of course, there's medicine out there that does help and probably doesn't have side effects too bad. But for the most part, I don't think we should be fucking with our chemistry. Like, I really don't think we should be fucking with hormones. I don't think we should be fucking with the chemical makeup in our body. Like, a lot of us should be, for most of the things that we go to the doctor for, if it's not super serious, a lot of what we should be doing is just holistic practices, being able to make sure that our minds are clear, that we're not over stressing about things, and we're not holding in emotion. Because usually what creates dis-ease in the body is the fact that you're holding this negative energy, and it has nowhere to go, so then it manifests into your physical body. And if more people would kind of approach their health that way, where they take care of themselves, they, you know, do daily exercise. Nothing, it doesn't have to be super strenuous. You don't have to be a gym rat. It could be as easy as taking a walk every day, and then just eating reasonably. I don't think that you have to go on any crazy diets. I was listening to a podcast yesterday where this lady said that she went on this crazy diet because she was so afraid of getting cancer. She got cancer anyways. And then it was a near death experience story. So she said that when she had died and then came back, she really realized that it had nothing to do with the food she was eating. It was her mindset around it. She said that if you do anything out of fear, you're just going to amplify that fear. So even though she was eating a a, a cancer friendly diet, or a diet that wasn't meant to, um or was supposed to reduce the chances of her getting cancer, because she was fearful while she was doing it, she manifested the cancer anyways. And the truth is when you look at pretty much anything that we consume, whether it be food from outside, or even down to the media we consume when we're watching, when we're on our phones here and we're looking at media. It's like those are all things that can trigger those types of diseases. So at the end of the day, the most you can control is your mindset and what you do with your body. And I think that's where a lot of us, either, I don't know if we think it's too, a lot of people think it's too hard, or they rely on the fact that if they just go to a doctor that they can get the doctor's advice or whatever. I don't know. All I'm saying is do your own research and do your best to just live a moderate life and keep your mind as healthier even than your physical vessel, because at the end of the day, that, like, your body is connected to your mind, your spirit. So take care of all of them, man. And you take care, it go I believe it goes from the top down as well. If your spirit is clear, it clears all the karma or whatever. That I've also heard in Taoist practices, that's what they believe. They believe that that disease or whatever happens in the body is actually it's actually a product of karma, possibly from past lives. So I don't know too much about that stuff. That I'm just starting to dabble in that. But all in all, if you take care of your spirit, it should trickle down. And I've heard many beautiful stories from people where they were either told that they weren't supposed to live much longer, or that they have all the genetic makeup for for somebody who should be sick, but they're not because their spirits are so high. So keep that in mind. And if you would like to work with me one on one on keeping your spirit healthy, keeping your mind right, link in the description for my coaching containers. Otherwise, I want to thank you so much for listening to me, and until next time, bye.